Hello, back again. So, this is the work session on February 2nd of 2025, and I just did a video prior of the city council meeting before this on 11/24, and so this is just a follow up for the next work session. So the city manager report was talking about that you can still apply for the Citizens Academy on the website. The Hope Blood Drive that is going to be on December 29th. And that is going to be at Station 22. That's the firehouse on Brant Pike. And let me look back on my note that I write down. Yep, from 3 to 6. So if you can make it out, or you can sign up online and get a spot to donate blood, that would be greatly appreciated. And the last thing was that Huber Heights Community Cares and the City of Huber Heights have joined forces. I've heard along with several others, but community cares, like, they're near and dear to my heart, just like Huber Heights is, because I was born and raised here. So, December 6th, you better not have any plans. So that's gonna be Saturday at 3 o'clock. The parade is going to be going from Chambersburg, um, down Brant. It's going to go down Fishburg a little ways, like, so it can come around and end at that Richard F. Schomburg Governance Center. As far as what I've heard, like, this is going to be epic. From, like I said, that's going to start at 3, and from 4 to 7. It says the vendors, food trucks, 5:15. I know that they are doing the tree lighting of Mark Campbell's Christmas tree, the 40-foot Christmas tree that I have heard him talk about forever now, and that he has been dying for. At 6 p.m. we are going to have a drone show. I say we. I'm not hosting or throwing this. You can go ahead and come down. I'm live recording, but it's okay. Kids. Let's see. Natalie, you want to come over and say hi?
No.
That's my mini me, who is 21.
Hi.
And there she is. She won't make an appearance. A lot of you that know me already know her. Like, we're two pizza and pod. God, I sound old. Anyways, so please try to make it out if you can. I know that there are so many people to give props to for all that's to come on Saturday. It is an effort by so many people. So thank you to the city of Huber Heights and all of the volunteers and all of the hours of work that has went into it. Thank you, Mark Campbell, for being adamant about that 40-foot Christmas tree. And a huge thank you to Cindy Davidson and Community Cares and Scott, all the volunteers, for just everything and all that you do throughout the entire year. You guys are awesome. You guys are the community of Huber Heights. I love you guys. Anyways, so We got into supplemental appropriations. There's several things that we went through. I only wrote down a couple of them. Two of the supplemental appropriations were grants, so they kind of like cancel each other out. They ask for the money, but then they get reimbursed for it, or they're just moving funds. One of them though was not a grant. It was for almost $350,000 to give the schools their portion of TIF money, tax increment financing, because I guess we estimated it a little low. That was just in Montgomery County, because in Miami County, the county just does it for us. Like they send our portion to us and the school's portion to them. Montgomery County, I guess years back, there was issues with them not appropriating the money correctly. So we asked just for us to be able to do it. And here now, I guess, kind of bit us in the butt for $350,000. I mean, it was going to be, we either had to give it to them one way or another. So it just sucks when we, I guess, didn't plan for it. I know that Mayor Gore had asked, like, how much total did we give Huber Heights City Schools along with CTC for the year 2025, and it was $1.5 million. So $1.5 million is what the Huber Heights City Schools have gotten with the TIFs. So, and Mayor Gore just stressed again that some people get confused on TIFs. They just think that the city just takes all of the money from the schools if like that a property is under a TIF, and that's not always the case. There are different TIFs. There are school TIFs and non-school TIFs. There are certain percentages to where you can have like a 70-30 TIF. I'm not getting into those weeds and trying to make it more confusing for people. I would just tell you that we tried to do those TIFs in the past to where we took money that the schools should get, and that didn't work out well. So, meaning like we didn't allow it. So our TIFs are non-school TIFs. How, just to simplify how our TIFs typically work, is that the majority of your property taxes go to county, go to city, and go to schools. And what the TIF pretty much does is I think it's like around 23% of your property taxes. Instead of that going to the county, to pay for like job and family services, children's services, animal shelters, the courts, stuff like that, it goes to the city. The city gets to pocket that money. And the schools are supposed to still keep getting their fair share of the 70% of property taxes. That is a very basic rundown. There are different situations to it all. It's not just an automatic 70-30 type split to where schools get 70, city gets 30. Like we're talking like 29 point something, and yeah, I'm not going to get into all of it. But if it's a non-school TIF, typically it is not taking away from the school district. So let me just say that. Um, so there was these Motorola consoles that are at the end of their life for the police, and we are having to renew that or buy new. And with that, it's going to, we kind of have to, because they said in 2027 they go offline. So we don't start paying on these until December 1st of 2026, and it's going to be for 73,000 for 10 years annually. So I don't know how much interest and everything goes into play, but yeah, but we need them. And Jim Bell, the finance director, said that there were several bids that, well, I don't know if they were bids, but he contacted, several people to try to find the best deals. And if he got it before December 18th or 19th or whatever, they got a 10% discount. So, which when you're dealing with that kind of money, 10% is a lot. So, I would just tell you that the 2026 city budget, that discussion started at the 18-minute and 30-second mark. I will encourage you to just go and watch that meeting. You can fast forward it to that mark, or you can just click on the agenda item on that video and it will take you straight to that topic. They had a full PowerPoint presentation of it all, and like how they're using the new software and everything. Like, it's just, it was way too much for me to try to go over and explain to y'all here. But if you are interested, you need to go and watch that video. I'm not talking just it's just like just this little budget, thing. I mean, this is your tax dollars, and it's a lot of them. So there was a Bethel annexation agreement, along with conforming of the boundaries for Carriage Trails 2. So, and with all of this, and again, like the last video, I have not done my research. I have not fully went over the annexation agreement. That it has in there a 20-year moratorium. 20-year moratorium on no further annexations. And they basically lay out like where they're talking about. I don't know why we just don't say no future annexations by Heber Heights for 20 years as a whole. That's something that I would have to go through. I don't know if you can see it, these documents, and look through. But when I heard something about a moratorium, it was like, bink. And I just watched that work session that was on Tuesday. Today's Thursday. Again, I've been sick, so I haven't really had the time to fully dive into anything fully with it. I will be sure to do that before Monday's meeting, where they're going to be voting on all of this. And that's also where, if I have any public comments or anything, or want to speak on these agenda items, I will register to do so, and I will be at that meeting, but I will probably have to go in a mask because since I've been sick, I'm contagious for up to 2 weeks, they say. Um, and I just don't want to run the risk of, getting anybody sick. Um, but basically, it's with this annexation agreement, it is Bethel will remove the TIF that's currently on that area. And then with that, Huber will then ask Miami County to conform the boundaries. And with doing that, Bethel Township loses money because they would be getting, um, like the pilot payments, if anything was to be built on that TIF district. They'll be losing, property taxes because we will not have dual citizenship. But also, Bethel's main thing is they do not want people who reside in carriage trails to be able to vote on township issues, which I kind of understand that. Like, because you get a couple bad people as trustees, ones that could give a crap less about Bethel Township and being a good neighbor and everything. And then here Bethel no longer exists. So they lose out on money, but they are trying to save themselves at the same time. And for that, I can't knock them. There's I've always been one that has been against this annexation, and I tried my best to fight it the best that I could all along the way, being a Huber Heights resident, because again, I did not feel like what we were doing to the schools, what we were doing to the residents over there, just it wasn't right all for us just to have an indoor music venue. That's an amenity. That's not a need. If there was something that we really needed in Huber and we had to have the annexation for it, maybe I'd see it a little bit different. But my husband was a Bethel graduate, and he still has a lot of friends there. I know a lot of his friends. These are good people. These are people that he's known for 45 plus years. So, I hurt for them when they're hurting. But in the same breath, I had a lot of people that when I was fighting for them, fighting for their township, trying to give them a voice, trying to stand up as a Huber Heights resident for them, they were patting me on the back, telling me that they appreciated me. I'm like, no, this is the right thing to do, but I'm telling you what, as soon as I started supporting somebody for a school board that was friends with our current mayor, that all went out the window. I was a piece of crap. Which this woman had been friends with Tony Gore, Jeff's wife, long before Tony and Jeff were Tony and Jeff. So the only reason why this woman knows Jeff is because Tony got with Jeff when, they were friends. And that's how this friendship has came about. They don't sit there and talk about city stuff or anything like that. This woman is so busy doing volunteer work and her job and just so many other things. She is so active, so involved. She's got 2 kids as it is, and her husband. And I mean, she is always doing for others and loves the Lord. And I mean that she is a good person. She is a good woman. And you should just never be like, oh, well, they seem associated with that person. So I won't do that because that's what's been done to me before. And it's not right. So I refused to do it to her. I got to know her. I talked to her, uh, asked her tons of questions to figure out if she was a good fit for our school board. And she was. She's going to be. She was elected. Um, so props to her. If you guys know who I'm talking about, then I don't know anybody who has a problem with her other than people who don't know her. So, when I talk about Bethel and everything, it's a little with a heavy heart because I had a lot of people who I can't say who I thought were my friends, because I've learned with this, people will turn their back on you in a second. But they're people that I care about, and I still care about them. But they were quick to turn their back on me. So, but I'm I'm gonna continue fighting for what I believe is right and fair, and not let that sway, my opinion or what I try to do. So, just wanted to add that in. Um, I'm really red because I had to open a vent down here, and the air is hot and dry. It's not because like I'm mad or I'm talking about, what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, that also should just tell you what kind of person, that I am. That I'm not just gonna go and somebody, pisses me off or makes me upset, or somebody else like flips on me. That's not gonna make me flip or do anything different. Unless I find what I'm doing or what I'm saying is wrong or incorrect. That is the only way. So, anyways, the moratorium, like I said, is going to be for 20 years. Bethel would still have to vote to agree on the annexation agreement, and then for the moratorium. So, we'll just have to see how that goes. That again, Huber is going to be voting on it on Monday. So I got one more thing, and then I got a big one down at the bottom. So everybody knows that Charles Gate just dead ends. Dead ends to like really nothing. The person who owns that is also the same person that owns the El Toro restaurants. So, they've been working with him to where that person is going to donate a certain portion of land. I don't know like how much really, but it is going to be able to facilitate Charles Gate going all the way through. So which I know that our police and fire will greatly appreciate. Um, the owner is donating that. In return, should be getting fully tapped into our water and sewer. So it's kind of like a give and take, make it even, and call it a day. So that should be good. The last thing, I talked about a moratorium before, but how about a moratorium on gas stations? Something that I've said in my videos before. Now we're talking a moratorium on gas stations, washing facilities, car washes, and oil change places for 1 year. So, and Don Webb, thank you. You're the one that brought up, hey, can we add oil change places to this? Um, it pretty much like would put a halt on those three businesses that I talked about for a year. That will give time for zoning changes because we're trying, or code changes because we're trying to change our codes up some, and more modernize them. Uh, so not 100% sure if it's going to fully happen. It was just on the agenda for discussion. There was no legislation attached to it. There could be Monday, but I don't know. So Fred did bring up, like the free market and um, trying not to, tell businesses who can and who can't be successful here. And they're like, hey, this is just for 1 year, till we get like the code like situate. Well, I mean, that's what the code is going to kind of do too. The code is going to make it to where they have to ask. So, and just like with this moratorium, like still, a place can still come and ask. They just have more of a right to be able to say no to them. The code's going to do the same thing. So, we're still going to be dictating who can and can't be successful, here or build here or have business or whatever. So take that as you wish. I get what Fred is saying to a certain degree, but at the same time, I do feel like this needs to happen because it's crazy. I mean, we're getting ready to get Buc-ee's opening up. That's me knocking on wood. In a few months, 100 gas pumps. I mean, how many more gas stations do we need then? Like we've got, 2 Sheetz now. We've got the Wawa. We have Speedway, which is not Speedway, but it's Speedways. Marathons, Shells, BP, whatever all the, Casey's. We got 2 Casey's. So I mean, we've got some gas stations, and we've got plenty. Mayor Gore talked about how, like, well, every single gas station that he's around, he never sees the pumps empty and stuff like that. Like, I know that you live on the north side of town. I know that you see the Marathon that's right next to 70. That every now and then I'll see a car or two there. But Casey's, I only see that like really busy when they just had gas super cheap while everybody else's gas was up. Now the Sheetz on Executive, that's busy. I know the other Sheetz is busy. I know Wawa's going to be busy. I know that our gas stations are being used. They're not just like sitting there. Other than that Marathon, I think that just pretty much sits there. But I'm not really on the south side a whole bunch, so I don't know, but I know the gas stations become less and less the further south that you go. So, how do you guys feel? Do you guys think that the moratorium is a good idea for a year? Are you guys done with all the gas stations, or car washes or oil change places? Maybe we should just have the moratorium only on the car washes and the oil change places. Like, I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think would be best? How do we curb this? How do we make residents happy while fulfilling the needs that they have. Do you think that we have enough? I do. But I have no idea how much more building and development is going to be coming in the next several years. I know what's on in the books. I know that we have several different residential areas that are going to be ramping up. So, how many more residents are we getting, and how much is too much per square mile? So let's just think about that. Um, the air quality in those areas to where they're all jam packed, and you have several gas stations and everything all together, um, where you're just pretty much living all around a concrete jungle that is your nature. Because again, everybody knows I live in Carriage Trails, and our neighborhood motto is neighborhoods and nature. I think it's neighborhoods versus nature. Um, and again, hindsight's 2020. When I built here, I there's so much that I've learned over the last 7 years, and yeah, I know that everywhere we live, there wasn't anything there, and then here slowly, like cities develop and things happen, and but when is it all too much? And I didn't think about that. My home was a forest type area, and that there was all these animals like living back here, and how they all got displaced, and all that stuff. I didn't think about that really at all until I seen clearing of land for carriage trails too, before we even voted to approve carriage trails too. And they had torn out a crap load of trees. And there was a woman who, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, who video recorded a family of deer standing next to all this, all these torn down trees and everything. And you could tell that they were just stunned. And there wasn't anywhere for them to go. Um, they were going to have to make the trek up to 201 to Brant and cross Brant to go into Carriage Hill Metro Park. And when she posted that video, it was just a smack in the face. And I know that certain development needs to happen. Like when there's a housing crisis or whatever, that, we need more houses in certain areas, um, all of that. But with having 1,500 homes, not including the apartments, I believe, or the condos, in 1 square mile for carriage trails, one, and then here you want to do that in a smaller area, you want to have it crammed even more to where it's hurting the schools. It's Bethel Township doesn't want it. You have your own residents in Huber Heights fighting, because that's our school district, but we're not wanted. And I mean, just imagine how the kids feel with that. And I mean, there's just so much. And then it's like, oh, indoor music venue, indoor music venue. And then here you see that family of the deer, and you just compile it like all together. And it's like all of this for an amenity just so they can be like, I did that. You know, just like they talk about the Rose and everything. Do they talk about how much they pay the Rose employees? How much? These are city employees at the Rose. Do they talk about how much they pay them? So it's crap. So you want to talk about how successful the Rose is and everything while you're paying a crappy wage, which that could be, per Mimi. I don't know who gets to decide that, but man. So, anyways, sorry for getting emotional and going on a yeah. But this is the kind of stuff like why I do what I do. I'm passionate about this stuff. I care about the city. I care about the residents that are here. I feel like I can help and bring more awareness and get the city to work with us instead of them just working by themselves and then people just griping on Facebook. Um, we need people in seats at the city council meetings. Um, and it's not all bad. It there is tons of city staff and our council members who do so many other things and work their butts off and stuff that they do. There is good that they do. It's just there's things that I don't agree with. That doesn't make them necessarily bad people. And the city staff, they're getting paid to do what they're told to do. And if that's to kind of like pull the wool over our eyes, stuff like that when they talk about stuff, absolutely. That's what they're getting paid to do. So, I mean, they're doing their job. Um, I can't, I get mad on occasion, but I can't really be mad at them. Like, I haven't talked to him in a while, but, I've talked to Aaron Sorrell quite a bit. And at the end of the day, I know he's just doing his job. Um, people on city council, I give them a hard time and everything, but I know that they're just doing what they think is right. I just don't agree with it. That's it. Um, so, anyways, I'm gonna end on that note. I the next meeting, I might be going to. I might talk, and if I do, I will be here to talk about it. And but no matter what, I'll be here to talk about it. So, and I will have more research done on my next video. It's just that I've just gotten out of this. Today is the first day that I've felt decent enough to like do my hair, do my makeup, put on normal clothes, and actually like be human. So, so to all of my friends who watch this and haven't seen me in a little while, love you guys. I miss you guys. Thanks for tuning in, watching. And that goes for anybody that I don't know can be a future friend. I appreciate you guys watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and just try to share my videos out. I'm just trying to get the word out. Yeah. So until next time, you guys take care.